Let him laugh, let him weep, let him yell, let him sing. All they wanna say. Let him lay me traps and men to pray to Jehovah, me I pray. Let him laugh, let him weep, let him yell, let him sing. All they wanna say. Let him lay me traps and men to pray to Jehovah, me I pray. Let I be me instead of playing games. For chasing fame, let somebody sweat the lack of flames. No, living my life to the fullest and shout out my halala to the fullest. Let my lungs out. I'm still rising up to greater heights as long as
Hello, Ponjus and Bonani. Welcome to Rise to Greater Heights Network, where you can turn your fears into greater success while seizing new opportunities. It is so significant to have a positive mindset, more especially under these circumstances. So this network has the potential to completely revolutionize every aspect of your life and career. My name is Riel Gunene. So if you're watching us online, please feel free to put in the chat box where you're watching us from and what you hope to achieve from our podcast. Today, we are surrounded by greatness in the World Wide Web. We have amazing speakers who's going to share some nuggets on how to chase after success. How to chase after success. So in New York, we have Erica Lane. In Maryland, we have Dr. Cherry Good. In Hartford, we have Wendy Gavin-Mayo. And in the beautiful Antigua, we have Kisma Panthea Junior Pierre. Wow. Well, so at this moment, I'll just let our speakers to introduce themselves. So you can go ahead, Erica.
Hello. My name is Erica Lane, the Money Elevation Strategist, who triple J income in a little under 3 years. So I'm super excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
You are welcome. Thank you. Thank you for saying yes to the invitation. So you can go ahead, Dr. Cherry, and introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Cherie M. Good, also known as the Recharge Strategist, founder, CEO of Total Harmony Enterprises, Make Me Over Wellness, and the Jordan Alexander Cofield Foundation. I'm excited to be here.
Wow, it's such a great honor to have you, Dr. Cherie. You can go ahead, Wendy, and introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Wendy Garvin-Mayo. I'm a nurse practitioner and stress solution strategist, and I'm also the CEO of the Stress Blueprint. And I'm so excited to be here.
So good to have you, Wendy. And finally, you can go ahead, Kisma, and introduce yourself.
Hello, everybody. My name is Kisma Panthea Jean-Pierre. Saying my name is a French lesson. And I am from the beautiful island of Antigua. I'm an educator, and I'm so excited because I'm embarking on a new journey to start my own primary school and educational facility. We're going to help others get their education going. So apart from that, I am also a strategy coach to help you create your blueprint. So I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
So good to have you all the way from the Caribbean. So good to have you, Kisma. So welcome to our audience on Facebook, on YouTube. We see you, Elke, and Elke is saying amazing ladies in the house. Yes, we are surrounded by so much greatness, Elke. I agree with you. So now we're gonna go to New York. We're gonna go to Erica. Erica, I have a question for you. If you happen to have your own billboard, I can see your billboard coming down there in the busy highway of New York. What will your billboard say?
Take your power back to increase profits, get to the bag, and keep more of it for you. That's what my billboard would say.
Wow, I love it. And I'm pretty sure it's coming. If it's not there, it's definitely coming. Take your power.
Yes.
I love it. How about you, Dr. Sherry?
My billboard would say self-care is not selfishness. Without wellness, you have no wealth.
Self-care is not selfishness. And I believe in self-care. When it comes to self-care, I am really, really selfish. I'm sorry, but I'm selfish when it comes to my time. My time is my me time, no one else. I love that. I love that, Dr. Sherry. How about you, Wendy? Maybe your billboard is already there. What will your billboard say?
It will say stress management is the foundation to success.
Stress management is the foundation to success. Wow, I love it. I love it. How about you, Kisma? I can see your billboard coming down there in the busy highway of, I'm not too sure, are you gonna have it in Dominica or in Antigua? What will your billboard say?
I think I'd have it in on both islands, actually, and it would say dream big, because dreams do come true.
Dream big, because dreams do come true. Wow, I love that. I love all of the billboards anyways. And I think mine can be the 5th billboard driving down the highway, and it's gonna say, rise to greater heights, because you know what? The sky is no longer the limit. The sky is our point of view. So I believe that we are all supposed to rise to greater heights. And you know what? It's coming. It's coming. So we're going to go to Erica. We're going to go to Erica right now. Erica Lane, known to the world as the money elevation strategist. Erica Lane has developed an exceptional money management approach for entrepreneurs, which enabled her to triple her income in only 3 years. Erica is also the founder of the Real Money Talk Summit for Women, which is a sisterhood of authentic, expert-driven conversations and learning experiences to own the financial power in your life, as well as the visionary of various book anthology projects to help women tell their authentic story and share their expertise. So as a natural motivational speaker, she empowers women to recognize their value and take positive, life-changing action on their entrepreneurial journey. So Erica specializes in empowering entrepreneurs to build, restore, elevate, and manage their profits. From ideation stage entrepreneurs to entrepreneurs who need to pivot or restore their profits onto those looking to elevate to the next level and need an additional set of keen, focused, experienced eyes on their profit plans. So Erica provides step-by-step guide. And her mission is to focus on women to be savvy about the decisions they make in their businesses, but achieve mastery over dictating their profits and leave a significant legacy for generations to come. So kings and queens, please join me and welcome Erica Lane.
Well, thank you. Hello, I appreciate you. I appreciate the opportunity to be able to be before you, right? So I want to thank you for that. Before I get to get started on the topic, the power to budget your way to increase profits, I want to give you a peek into who I am outside of the fancy bio, right? So just to let you know, I was about 21 years old when I started my first business in New York City. This is where I grew up, right? Also known as the financial capital of the world, where they taught us how to get money, but never how to keep any of it, right? And so I knew at a young age, the traditional route wasn't for me. And so I got bit by the entrepreneur bug, building businesses in tech, education, finance, health and wellness, and many other industries. And by my late 20s, I put my blood, sweat, and tears into building a business grossing $750,000 annually. And I thought I was a boss, right? And 4 years later, I lost everything, right? Only to start from the bottom and create my profitable entrepreneur money makeover system that allowed me to triple my income, as you heard earlier. To now I specialize in helping women all over the world create the story of their dreams by increasing their profits and helping them keep more of the revenue that they generate. So that's a little bit about me, like outside of the fancy bio, right? But let's get to the topic at hand. The power to budget your way to increase profits. Budgeting is probably the last word you want to hear right now. All you want is higher profits, right? But what would budgeting have to do with that? To be honest, a lot. A budget in its simplest form is just a plan, right, for your money. That's it. Without a plan for your money, you won't realize the profits your business could potentially earn and possibly be losing or leaking from your business. Understand that small holes sink great ships. Planning where you spend your money gives you direction. It tells you how much money you have, what expenses you're covering, and what you need to save to take the next big step, whether it's scaling or investments. I have 3 quick points to serve you with, right? And so point number 1, your budget should be flexible. Your business likely changes often and drastically. Let's just be honest, right? What works today may not work 3 to 6 months from now. We learned that in the last couple of years. And that's okay as long as you're aware of it. But let's give the key, being aware. That's why budgeting is so crucial. Knowing your revenue, your cash flow, the inventory levels, expenses, right, is the only way to be a successful earning entrepreneur, right? Because we want to earn, not just be an entrepreneur, because that's what we're in business for, in business to earn. The second thing, keep it simple. Statistically, complicated budgets don't get managed because they are normally unsustainable. I tell my clients, if nothing else, be realistic. Don't over forecast any of your numbers, especially not your income. I know we all want to manage the 6 and 7-figure months, but let's manage the 4 and 5-figure months first, because how you budget with smaller money is how you will budget with how you will manage your rate of money. It just is what it is. So make it simple. Your budget should answer these 4 points. A, income from all your sources of your business. And that means all, not the ones you want to talk about, no, all of them. B, your fixed costs like rent, utilities, internet, and website costs. C, variable costs like a VA or travel expenses. And D, cash flows. If you know these numbers, you're well on your way to increasing your profits. Why? Because you'll easily see your cash flow and where you stand. Where you need to make adjustments to streamline and become more efficient. Efficiency equals profitability. If you're in the chat somewhere, do yourself a favor, write that down. Efficiency equals profitability, and also a way to up-level your earnings. Point number 3, should you ask the experts? And I'll give you a couple of seconds to think about this. What I want you to do is type in expert if you believe this is true. You know, how many of you believe you should hire an expert to manage your funds? Or should you do it yourself? So if you think it's an expert, type expert or write that down, expert. I'll give you a couple of seconds to do that. The answer normally, in my opinion, surprises people, right? So let me tell you, this is a trick question. Because actually, I believe it should be a little bit of both. It seems like you should do it yourself because you'll save money on fees. And if you're trying to increase profits, well, saving money makes sense, right? But remember, time is money, and so is your sanity. Burning the candle at both ends is too much. It doesn't lead to more profits no matter what they say on social media, right? It leads to more headaches, less organization, and lower productivity levels. As an entrepreneur, be okay with investing with people who are expert at the things you are not in order to give you your time back so you can make more profits in your business, okay? When you focus on flexing your CEO muscle, as Lisa Nichols often says, you'll have more energy to increase sales and make higher profits, right? If you have to use the energy on tasks you don't like or understand, you'll have less energy to focus on the things that do matter. What one of my favorite speakers, Dr. Cheryl says, calls money-making activities. But in saying that, at minimum, review your money every month. At the end of the day, it is your responsibility to manage your funds and know where you stand. So don't just hand it over to experts and say they're experts and it's done. Have them explain it to you. And if they can't explain it to you, find you a new expert. Whichever way you do it, don't skip budgeting for your business. It's the only way to ensure you'll maximize profits. Right now, you can receive complimentary annual business budget and entrepreneur checklist by going to yourbusinessbudget.com. Again, I thank you so much for having me, and I will leave you with these last little things. Life is short. Never budget so tight that you forget to live in it. As entrepreneurs, we all want to get to the bag, but let's make sure there isn't a hole in it. My name is Erica Lane, the money elevation strategist who tripled her income in a little under 3 years. Thank you so much. And you can connect with me on all social media platforms at I am Erica Lane. Thank you.
Whew. Erica just dropped the mic. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Wow. Wow. You've just nailed it, Erica. I believe your topic, it just deserves the whole day. Just talking on budget, just talking about money. Money. I love money. I love money. The Bible has its own definition of money, but yeah, money, you need it. You need it in everything. You've mentioned that you'll have to
Just
be
like oxygen.
I know you've said that you'll have to be okay to invest with people who are experts on things that you really don't know, things that you can't do. Invest with those people. And I believe in that one. I believe, and you've also mentioned that we'll have to budget for our businesses. We'll have to budget for our businesses. Like I was trying to take notes here and there. You know what? I'm going to go back and watch the replay. Definitely, I'll have to watch the replay on this one. So thank you so much, Erica, for sharing such a profound, much needed message. So to our audience online, if you haven't shared this video, please do so and go on YouTube and subscribe to our channel, Rise to Greater Heights, because someone wants to hear Erica's message today on budget, on money, on manifestation, on elevation. So go out there and share this video throughout all of your networks. So now we gonna go to Maryland. We have Dr. Sherry M. Good. Dr. Sherry M. Good is the founder and CEO of Total Harmony Enterprises, Make Me Over Wellness, and the Jordan Alexandra Caulfield Foundation, which is a 501c3 organization dedicated to her late son. She is a 10 times #1 best-selling international author, speaker, wellness coach, and American Heart and Stroke Association ambassador or spokesperson. So Goody's teachings also emphasize the importance of self-care to enrich one's life and heal after loss. She is determined to delete all excuses why women can't be healthy and reach as many as possible with her wellness teachings. Therefore, she is explaining her reason for opening an elite mobile wellness studio, Make Me Over Wellness, where she brings wellness services right to your front door. So Dr. Good is a certified in the relaxation techniques and mindfulness, reflexology, and sound bowl therapy. Good is also the founder of the Ladies Recharge Movement, where she hosts quarterly events for women to step away from daily duties to perform self-care and enjoy sisterhood fun with other like-minded professional women. Some of her written collaborations include legendary authors and speakers such as the legend himself, Les Brown, Mickey Tyler, editor-at-large of Essence magazines, and Dr. Cheryl Wood. So Goody's expertise in the areas of recharge strategies, self-care, weight management, stress management, mental wellness, healing after loss, and heart disease prevention has touched the lives of many all over the world. So kings and queens, please join me and welcome Dr. Sherry M. Good.
God never created any junk. You were born successful. It's up to you how long you remain successful. I am Dr. Sherry M. Good. Today, we're going to talk about 3 specific ways to chase after success and then attract your destiny. So I'm going to jump right in. Number 1, create a legacy. When we're talking about creating a legacy, what does that mean to you? It means that you are designing a specific plan, a specific thing, whether it be a business, a product, whether it just be creating your name to the point that your name lives on, your business lives on, your product lives on for years and years to come, even after you are long gone. I'll give you a prime example. Jordan Alexander Cofield was my baby boy. On August 22nd of 2020, he was tragically killed in a motorcycle crash at the young age of 20. In 20 years of life, Jordan created a legacy that continues to live, even though he's been gone for just a mere year and a half. Jordan was a beacon of light. He impacted lives. He touched those who were less fortunate. He did a lot of community service, and he was known all over the world for his athleticism. Today, Jordan's legacy still lives on through his family and friends by means of my nonprofit organization, the Jordan Alexander Cofield Foundation, as well as a roadway that his family and friends has adopted, and his initiative, Jordan's Way. So I ask you, what are you doing to create a legacy? Also, when we talk about creating legacy, we talk about leaving something behind for generations to come, whether it be our children, our children's children. What are we leaving behind after we take our last breath? So creating a legacy is very, very imperative. Number 2, don't be afraid of failure. Failure trumps regret. So there's nothing like feeling regret because you didn't try. So always give it a try, regardless of how afraid you are. Failure means that you were bold. Failure means that you had enough go-to-itness in order to keep pushing forward, even though you didn't know the end result. Think about when you're driving on the roadway. When you're driving on the road and you start to drive, maybe you don't specifically know where you're going. What do? You turn around and you go another way. You find another direction, correct? Absolutely. So the same thing in life, the same thing in success, and same thing in your business. If things don't go the way you plan for them to go, turn around and find another way to do it. Find another route, get another direction, recreate your master plan to get to where you want to be. Number 3, walk the talk. Walk the talk. That's right. Create a successful lifestyle. Create the life that you want for yourself. So when you're walking the walk, we talked about billboards earlier. You're going to be a walking billboard for your brand. You're going to be a walking billboard for your businesses. Whenever you are trying to chase success or create success in your life, people have to clearly know what it is that you are defined by. In my example, wellness, I've been a nurse for the past 30 some years, and wellness is all around me. So everything that I do aligns with wellness. So when you are creating this legacy for yourself, when you're talking about chasing this success, make sure that it is clearly defined what you want your name, your business to be identified as. And then you should be a walking billboard for that. If you don't believe in your brand, no one else will believe in your brand. Remember, it's okay to chase after success, but we're going to attract your destiny. You are destined for greatness. You are destined to be successful. Remember, in the onset, I said, God didn't create any junk. You are more than capable. You possess every single thing that you need in order to create that legacy, to do it afraid without failure, and also to walk in your legacy. A couple other things you want to keep in mind when you're chasing that success is that it's a marathon and not a sprint. So often we are chasing, but we're not being successful. It's like we're spinning wheels. Why? Because we're trying to do it as fast as another person. Stop comparing yourself to someone else's journey. Your success journey is totally different than someone else's success journey. I am Dr. Cherie M. Good, and I hope that something that you've heard today will resonate with you in your pursuit of success. Just keep pushing and don't ever stop.
Oh, wow. Wow, Dr. Sherry, you've mentioned that we'll have to create a legacy that will last, and we shouldn't be afraid of what? Of failure. That's something almost, I can say half of the population is just afraid of failing. But what if you get started and then you don't fail? What if, you know, the what ifs that you have, why don't you turn the what ifs into a positive, You say we should walk the talk. I love that. I love that, Dr. Cherry. We should walk the talk. If we want to chase after success, we better walk the talk. Thank you so much, Dr. Cherry, for sharing such a powerful, profound message. So thank you. So I can see our audience online. They are really moved. They are really moved. Gunene Hansen is saying, this is wonderful. Mariah is saying, wow, budget must be flexible. I believe she was referring to Erica. And yes, Maria is saying again, walking a billboard for my business. Yes. And Goodwill is saying, believe in your brand. Wow. Our audience are really inspired. I'm telling you, I can see all the loves, all the likes, all like everything that we can see on Facebook right now. They are moved. So thank you so much, Dr. Sherry Good. Thank you. Now we're gonna go to Wendy Gavin Mayo. Wendy Gavin Mayo is a nurse practitioner, stress solution strategist, #1 best-selling and certified John Maxwell coach, trainer, and an international speaker. She is also the founder of the Stress Blueprint, which is a personal and professional development firm that empowers individuals and organizations to optimize their health and wellness through stress management and leadership coaching, training, and speaking. So kings and queens, please join me and welcome Wendy Gavin Mayo.
Thank you so much. So I would love for this to be interactive despite us being virtual. So what is success? How do you define success? Because we're talking about chasing after success, but what is your definition of success? Success is defined in a dictionary as an accomplishment of meeting an aim or a purpose. So it's important that you understand your destination before you can actually define success. Where are you going? What is your roadmap? More importantly, it's important to define your purpose. Why are you trying to achieve success? And there's something that gets in the way of us defining our purpose before we can actually be successful. And that is the lid. The less I do. And I want to tell you a little story about the lid. Stress had me paralyzed in March of 2020 as I was wrestling with trying to align with my purpose of serving cancer patients. In March of 2020, sorry, it was the pandemic. And I wanted to really go back to the front lines to serve cancer patients. But the lid that was holding me back was fear. Fear kept me from aligning with my purpose, therefore I couldn't be successful. So I didn't do anything. I was paralyzed. So that's why it's so important to define what is your lid. Fear was my lid, stress was my lid, but what is your lid? Is it limiting beliefs? Is it fear? Is it lack of time management? Is it anxiety? Is it depression? It's important to identify your lid so you can put a plan in place to remove your lid so you can chase success. If you have a lid on, you can't go anywhere. You're locked in, it blocks you. So it's important to identify those blocks in your life that prevents you from obtaining success. So I want to give you 5 things to consider to remove your lid. And they all start with A, so you can look at them as the 5 A's. The first one is awareness. I want you to think about the lid. What is the lid in your life? Why does it exist? Is it a lid that you put on yourself? So is it an internal lid or is it external? Is it something you can't really control? but it's something externally that's holding you hostage. Next, I want you to think about your aspiration. Hone in on your purpose. Remember, that's your destination. If you're chasing success, it's to get to that purpose. Hone in on that aspiration. Next, I want you to assess, what do you need, or who do you need to bridge the gap between where you are and where you are trying to go? What is it that you need, or who do you need? Next, I want you to activate a plan. How are you going to operationalize the thing you identified to bridge the gap between where you are and where you need to be? After you activate that plan, I want you to take action. I want you to take action and execute that plan. Once that plan is executed and you have momentum, you can align with purpose. And when you align with your purpose, then you can start moving your feet and join the race to chase your success. My name is Wendy Garvin-Mayo. I'm a nurse practitioner and stress solution strategist. And if you want to connect with me, you can go to stressblueprint.com. Thank you so much for your attention.
Whew. Wow. Oh my goodness, I'm already on fire. Like Wendy, you've mentioned the essential things that we need on our race to success. And you started by defining success, because many people, they call it success, but they don't have a meaning on success. And you've started defining what success is really, and the impact of stress on our race to success. And then you gave us the 5 key essential things that we need on our race to success. The question that you've asked, that I was just asking myself, what is the lead in my life? Wow, it's really, really mind-blowing. Wendy, thank you so much for sharing such a profound message. I can see all the comments on Facebook. I can see Stella, believe in your brand. Okay, we've seen her. Princess, she's saying that I like the definition of success, Wendy. And Mzwake is saying, watching and listening from the beautiful kingdom of Eswatini. Welcome, Mzwake, who is the world leading MC in that country. So welcome. Thank you so much, Wendy. And to our audience online, if you haven't shared this video, I am telling you to share it right now, as we're going to Antigua right now. So please do share, do like, do comment, do ask questions, and then we'll come back and respond to your questions at the end of the podcast. So now we are flying. We are going to the Caribbean. We have Kisma over there. We have Kisma Panthea Jr. Pierre, who was born on Dominica, the nature island of the Caribbean, a land of 365 rivers. And she now lives in Antigua, the island of what? 365 beaches, from rivers to beaches. Wow. Fueled by passion from the difficulties of her childhood, this young girl, who is now a woman, is creating a path that is worth treading. Kisma is an educator, entrepreneur, Toastmaster, author, motivational speaker, and APS Convisionary. She also served as the vice president and then a treasurer for the French Teachers Association of the Antigua and Barbuda. Her passion for helping kids to develop the confidence they need to succeed led her to establish Madame Junior Peer Learning Center, MJPLC. You know, today everything is mouthful to me. So as an author, she intends to inspire change in her readers one word at a time. So as an international motivational speaker, the debut of her career was when she presented one of her signature speeches, Unleash Your 10-Year-Old Dream. the power of dreaming during speaker conference in 2021. She is deliberating coaching young people 10 to 16 years old to create a blueprint to achieve those dreams. She recognizes that many adults are unhappy with where they are in life. So in her Eritrea Early Blueprint Bootcamp, she challenges individuals to face their fears and do the necessary work to correct their mistakes and create a blueprint that will allow them to retire at any age from the job that they hate. Wow, wow. So her stories of grit and tenacity, courage, and limitless capacity to dream bigger than any of her circumstances will change the way you think about yours. So kings and queens, please join me and welcome Kisma Panthea Junior Pierre.
Thank you so much for that introduction. What if your big dream came true? My name is Kisma Panthea Jean-Pierre, and I'm from that little island called Dominica. And before I proceed, I would like the other guests, to tell you a little bit about where I came from. You see, I came from very, very humble beginnings, possibly like many of you today. But the one thing that kept me going, that kept me pushing through, is wanting to have a better life than how I was raised. Being raised in a one-bedroom house, not having breakfast sometimes, having to borrow my neighbor's shoes to go to school and to church, that created in me the need to have a strategy, a winning strategy as I chased after my own success. But what does it mean really to chase after success? And why should you chase after success? If you have a history, if you come from a background that you were not satisfied with, I am sure that you too, you want something better. But it's very important that we understand what it takes to actually achieve success. Success can be defined as wanting more than you already have, at excelling at something that you put your mind to, at putting in the work to make sure that you achieve that goal. It may be a long-term goal or a short-term goal, but it's something that you want more than what you already have. And to proceed this afternoon for me, morning for some of you, I want to use the word CHASE as an acronym to go ahead and explain what is that winning strategy that we need if we are to become successful. The C in CHASE represents commitment. If you're not committed to the cause, if you are not focused on the ultimate goal, if you are not ready to put in the work that is required, success is going to elude you. And sometimes we're motivated in the beginning. We are so excited, and so we start. But when the going gets rough, we recede. We are not focused enough. We are not motivated enough. We are not strong enough to proceed with that cause. And so you can't have a winning strategy. You can't have success if you are not committed to following through. The H represents heart. In this business called success, you have to have heart. If you don't have heart, then this is not for you. The heart here represents your ability to really hone in to what it takes to definitely cross that finish line. If you watch a sprinter, that sprinter has to have heart, because at the final leg of the race, if he doesn't push through with everything that he has, he will lose that race. Are you ready to take heart as you chase after your own success? Strategy. In this entire journey, you must have some strategy. And Wendy alluded to having a stress management strategy. That is very important. Now, the strategy that I will share with you is a strategy that I used when I was 10 years old, hence the reason I call that program the 10-year-old blueprint. It's a blueprint that I created for myself because I understood as a 10-year-old child that if I had not set in path, if I did not create a blueprint, just as an engineer has a blueprint before he constructs a building, the pilot has a blueprint that charts the course before a journey. You and I, we must have a blueprint that's going to tell us what our finish line ought to be. And with that blueprint, we now will have the heart and the commitment to continue chasing after that success. Then we have the E, excellence. You must have a spirit of excellence in everything that you do. Of course, when you begin, it might not be as excellent as you want it to be because you need to start many times before you are ready. And sometimes we lose heart again because we are not getting the kind of result that we anticipated. But if you look at a child and a child's journey, that child has to fall so many times before he or she becomes excellent at walking and walking the straight path. And so we had the C, which is commitment. We had the H, which is heart. We missed the A. I'm going to come back to it. The S, which is strategy, and the E, which is excellence. Now that A is attitude. We know that chase is spelled C-H-A-S-E. That A is attitude, because if you don't have the attitude that's going to take you through that journey, none of the others is going to work for you. The attitude that you ought to have is what it says is going to determine your altitude. It's going to determine how far you are going to get through to that journey in that winning strategy. And so I want to encourage you to make sure that your mindset is prepared so that when the going gets rough, that you can keep going, that when the naysayers will tell you that that big dream that you have is not possible, that you can show them that it is. And this is by no way bragging, but it is just to show you that as I stand here as your blueprint coach, that I can encourage you, that when I told persons, for example, that I would retire by the age of 40, nobody believed me. In 2021, in the heart of the pandemic, I retired from my government job 5 years earlier than 14. It was a childhood dream of mine to build my own school. And of course, everybody asks, how are you going to do that? But when you have a dream, the how is none of your business. And so this year, I'm embarking on that journey to building my own school. I've gotten a benefactor. God makes a way where there seems to be no way. A benefactor has donated $1 million into that program. And so we are going to start that journey of building that school where we can teach our kids that winning strategy, that blueprint from little, so that they can grow up to be women and men who are not so depressed, who are not so unhappy in the jobs that they don't like, so that they can have that strategy that's going to make sure that they are successful. But if you're one of those women or one of those men who is not happy in the job that you don't like, I invite you to go ahead now to my website, which is www.mjnpacademy, where you can get that winning strategy. You can get that blueprint, because I'm your blueprint coach who's going to help you to leave that job that you do not like, just like I had to leave mine, not because I didn't like it, but because I had a strategy to exit it at a certain time. My name is Kisma Panthe Jean-Pierre. I want you to chase after your own success, because it is possible if you believe. Thank you.
Wow, Kisma. Yes, it's possible. It can be done as long as you believe. You can definitely chase after success. Look at you. You retired at what age? And wow. You are such an inspiration. And I like the way you had that acronym of CHASE, really. And Mariah is also saying the same thing on Facebook. She's saying that, wow, what an acronym of CHASE. And the way you've just put it, really, we need to chase after success. We need to chase after success no matter what comes our way. So thank you. Thank you so much, Kisma, for sharing such a profound, much needed message. I believe that our audience have been really, really inspired and motivated. And I like the idea that you are also into the youth, the 10 to 16-year-olds. I love that. I love that. Keep up the light and keep shining to our future leaders. So thank you, Kisma. So So now to our viewers, if you haven't shared the video, if you haven't posted your questions to any of the speakers today, please feel free to just drop it in the chat box. We'll come back and read all of your questions and answer all of your questions at the same time. So thank you for joining us today. Thank you for watching. I can see your support. I can see your love. I can see the inspiration out there on social media, on all the social media platforms. So thank you for joining us. So what's going to happen now? I am going to be the next speaker. It's not going to be a podcast without me speaking, right? So I'm going to be the next speaker. But before I speak, I am going to share my bio and then I'll come back and speak. So enjoy the bio.
Non-Pumelelo Rial Kunene is a highly sought-after, energetic, certified Les Brown international speaker. She is the author and host to Rise to Greater Heights, a book and YouTube channel to turn your fears into greater success while seizing new opportunities. Rial is also a coach, mentor, and an MC, well known for encouraging many to rise from mediocrity into greatness. Her vision is not only to motivate, but also to empower audiences with a fresh perspective, inspiration they require to pursue success and drive sustainable outcomes in a seriously funny way. Rial believes that we are in full control of our choices. Her mission is to meet the needs and transform lives of her clients and her audience. Rial's book, Rise to Greater Heights, has inspired and empowered many to pursue their personal and professional passion to become go-getters. Her goal is to study your current situation, identify limiting beliefs, then design a plan of inspired action to empower you to achieve specific outcomes in your life. Rial Kunene wears many hats as a professional certified sales manager, CEO, strategist, certified travel counselor, trainer, esthetician, philanthropist, diplomacy protocol officer, international human rights analyst, and a commissioner for OAS. Following her dreams gave her purpose to see her goals through and understand that she does have everything she needs to reach her full potential. Her everyday message is that your journey to be a better person starts with you. So knowing who you are to your core will make you understand that you are the only one who can accomplish your dreams. Hebrews 11, Psalm 27 and 40. Keep her to rise to greater heights. Kings and queens, please join me. Welcome, Rial Kunene!
Thank you so much to our amazing speakers. You know, all these amazing speakers, honestly, they've just set the bar high for me. So I'm not too sure if I'm going to be able to fill in those shoes that you've just put in front of me. But you know what? I am really going to try. I'm going to try. But before I get started, I always double check if I'm in the right platform here. How many of you can say that, Rial, I have never ever complained in life? Never ever complained in life. Seemingly I'm in the right platform. I don't see anyone commenting, so seemingly I'm in the right platform, because you know, sometimes in life we go complaining about everything. Oh, the weather is really bad today. Traffic was worse than expected. My family drives me crazy sometimes. Oh, the movie was really disappointing. You name it. You know, though whining can be a way to build an inspiration, it can also keep us from acting, and it gives excuses time to procrastinate from achieving goals. One thing I've realized is that we usually complain in the wake of a negative situation, and we tend to focus more on the problem than finding potential solutions. It's always much easier to complain than to find a solution. And individuals who whine on a regular basis, they're apt to have a bad health. So next time you'll find you complaining that, why do pizzas come in square boxes, yet they're round? And funny enough, they are cut in triangles. Does that sound like you? Yeah, please write this down. Chase after success. Chase after success. You know, the way to your success isn't always easy to discover, but you can do a lot more than you think. And none of this means that the search isn't valuable. It can be tough, yes, and there may be instances of hesitation, but learn how to have confidence in your own dream. It was Erica who said that we need to give ourselves permission to money, manifestation, and elevation. You know, good people, don't ever give up on your heart's desires. Just recall this in case you can't find your way. You can have your drive within you, not from outside, but within you, to become what you really want in life. Can you say this after me? I can have the drive within me to become what I really want in life. Can you say it one more time, as if you have faith in your own powerful voice? I can have the drive within me to get what I really want to get in life. You know, it's so funny how my mom and dad gave me this beautiful, beautiful name, Nompumelelo. I know many people, they butcher my name when they try to say it. So Nompumelelo, in my own language, it means mother of all success. So now you can see that I am really, really challenged to chase after success. No matter what comes my way, I'll have to chase after success. Because the reality is your journey to be a better person, it starts with you. So knowing who you are to your core will make you understand that you have everything around you to reach to your full potential. You know, as flight attendants always say that put on your oxygen mask first before you assist others, because if you don't, you and the other person you're trying to help could possibly go down. So put that oxygen mask on you first today before anyone else. Before you go out there and chase after success, wear that oxygen mask first before anyone else. So you need to be in full control of your life. If you have a dream, you'll have to conduct yourself like you have faith in your own powerful voice. And guess what? It will echo throughout the whole universe. Like Dr. Cherry said that we shouldn't be afraid of failure. So if there is anything humankind has learned about behaviors, is that who you are and will become is 100% down to you. So you'll have to treat every phase towards your visions as an achievement. This is about becoming more in harmony with your deeper self. Why? I'm glad you've asked that, because you can never ever produce in life if you are not true to yourself. So good people, this is a wake-up call. All these amazing speakers have shared some nuggets on how to chase after success. It's a wake-up call, but when that alarm clock goes off, please, please don't ever hit the snooze button. Don't be like, I will wake up in the next 2 minutes. I will wake up in the next 4 minutes. You know what? Forever is a long time. Why don't you wake up, get going, and chase after success? Chase after success, because you know what? Curveballs will continually be coming your direction, but you will see tests as opportunities to learn as you pursue your dream. As they always say that fake it until you make it. Fake it until you make it, as you attract different conducts on moving towards your dream and push yourself to keep moving forward. If I may ask you, how many of you ever woke up just not feeling it? You know, ever felt like you just want to throw in the towel, like you felt like you just can't push yourself outside of your comfort zone? Trust me, I've been there, I've done that. Because life is filled with unpredicted twists. And from time to time, the right path isn't always clear. Letting yourself to produce over time is an essential part of life. What do I mean by saying that is this? It is so significant to understand that disappointments are just a natural part of life, and fear of achieving it hides in our own intuitive. But we'll have to push ourselves outside of our comfort zone. Good people, you really don't have to see the whole staircase in life, but you'll have to take the first step to get to the top. As my mentor always say, that you don't have to be great to get started, but you'll have to get started to become great. You know, because our destiny is not something that we can sit by and let it happen to us. But purpose is basically a series of opportunities that allows us to learn lessons and advance our awareness. It was Nelson Mandela who once said, may your choices reflect your hopes and not your fears. May your choices reflect your hopes and not your fears. And trust me, this message stirred something within me. So we need to act on opportunities that we are offered with faith. Then we will certainly accomplish the goals that we've imagined for our lives. I also want to encourage you that, you know what, the world that we live in it functions rather inversely. And everything you need in life, it doesn't come easy. But please, please, please don't ever pay attention to naysayers. Don't ever pay attention to naysayers. You know, paying attention to naysayers is really, really expensive. It's so expensive. So, you know, Wendy on the other side, she highlighted the impact of stress that has on success. So I want to encourage you that when something poses as an obstacle to you, that situation challenges you to discover the ability to press forward. You know, actual strength is in the hands of the one who flourishes, and there is hope for everyone's situation. So utilize it as a marvel to step onto a better view. Like Kisma mentioned that life is just a game, and she gave us the acronym of chase. Yes. So in order for us to win in this game, we must not approach life blindly. If I may ask you, how many of you have dreams and goals that you want to achieve maybe in the next 6 months? I know myself, I am one of those people. I want you, as you think about your dreams and goals, to put this down. Rise to greater heights. Rise to greater heights, because you need to be clear about your career goals in order for you to gain guidance on professional development. As a mentor or as a coach, my goal is so simple. My goal is to study your current situation, identify limiting beliefs and other potential obstacles that you face, and then design a plan of inspired action to empower you to achieve specific outcomes in your life. You know, I so wish you can just tell yourself that, you know what, I've just had it all. I've had it all these amazing speakers, you know, have dropped all these nuggets on how I can chase after success, starting from money management, going to your wellness, they've shared all of the nuggets and budgeting and everything. So I don't see any excuse today why you can be just relaxed and not chase after success. So I so wish that you can just tell yourself that, you know what, I'll have to make a difference within me. The change that I want to see in this world must first start with me. If I want to see a difference in this world, it must first start with me. So I'll have to make a difference within myself first. I'll have to fill my own cup first before I go out there and share with the rest of the world. But in order for you to make that difference, in order for you to chase after success, you've got to be hungry. You've got to be hungry like the hungry lion in the jungle. That hungry lion in the jungle, really, it doesn't matter what kind of animal comes his way. It doesn't matter if you're the giant elephant or that small squirrel by the jungle. All that hungry lion sees in front of his face is lunch. And it's so funny. It's so funny because even with elephants, when they see a lion, what they do is that they run. It's all about the mindset. Once you believe, you become. They already told themselves that, you know what, I am a lunch to that lion. So each and every time when I see a lion, I'll have to run. So I believe that's the mindset in order for us that we need in order for us to chase after success. Because, you know, I believe that with all these amazing speakers, I believe that we all rise together. They are here to rise with you. And I hope you're going to be able to reach out to each one of them here, because I believe that we're only here to fix each other's crown. I'm so glad that today we only have queens around. So we are here to fix that crown instead of tearing each and every one down. Yes, yes. Instead of tearing each one down, we are here for that. You know, it's so funny. When I was in the 8th grade, I was nicknamed Phoenix. I was nicknamed Phoenix after writing a composition using the idiomatic expression that says, I rose from the ashes like a phoenix bird, meaning I became successful again. Really, that English teacher, she didn't know that the nickname Phoenix, it resonates with me. And it also aligns with my destiny. So for those of you who don't know the phoenix bird, the phoenix is a Greek mythological bird believed to rise from its own ashes after being buried like hundreds of years ago. This immortal creature, it acquires new life by rising from the ashes of its own ancestor, which represents our capacity for vision and success. So I want to encourage you, if you're listening and watching under my voice today, that when your world comes crashing down, wear your scars to show how your phoenix feels like to die from inside, and trust in your own capability that you can rise from your own ashes, because the phoenix has to die, burn, experience pain before it rose from its own ashes. Please write this down in conclusion. Write this down. Resilience to greatness. Resilience to greatness. I don't know if you want me to remind you over and over again that your setback is your setup for your comeback. Your setback is your setup for your comeback. And you've had this before. It's not like the first time you're hearing this. You know, if I can be honest with you, I don't know what dreams you have for the next 6 months, what goals you've set for the next 6 months. But here is one thing I know about you. You are destined for greatness. Inside of you, God has put seeds of excellence. Those seeds are supposed to grow and flourish. But many people have become crippled by their past encounters. And some have stepped over other people to get to the top. But I believe that God has a better plan for every one of us. Your objective is what you were designed for and the reason why you live today. With God, I believe that we're all destined for greatness as long as we follow his strategy. This is when the growth commences, because discovering your gifts and following God's idea will make you understand that you have everything around you to reach to your full potential. My everyday inspiration, Mr. Les Brown, he once said, if you had to die today, at this very moment, at this hour, what dreams, what ideas, what visions, what talents, what skills, and what books will die with you? And the late Dr. Miles Monroe once said, the richest place on this planet is the cemetery, because that's where all the goals, all the visions, all the skills, all the talents have been buried. Honestly, I don't know about you, but with me listening to this message, it gave me sleepless nights. And I am really proud today to introduce Rise to Greater Heights book before you. This book is a comprehensive guide to turn your fears into greater success while seizing new opportunities. And by the way, the legend himself, Mr. Les Brown, he wrote the foreword in this book. And you know what? I didn't stop there. I was like, you know what? With the whole George Floyd situation, I was like, we need to stand for a world where no one shall live in fear because of the color of their skin, and where the criminal justice system treats everyone fairly and equally. So I decided to write human rights, which are God-given fundamental rights and freedoms, because I believe that everyone is born free and everyone has the right to life. So with this book, you'll be able to explore the 30 Universal Declaration of Human Rights. And I didn't stop there. I didn't stop there. We came together from the Les Brown training as our mentor, as our coach, who came together with one mindset, resilience to greatness, and 17 authors around the world who came together with Cultivate Your Mindset for Success. And I believe all these books has the potential to completely revolutionize every aspect of your life and career. And you can get all these books for a family member or a loved one who needs that inspiration to face the world with a positive mindset. And I also have a free transformation guide for you. It's available on my website, www.risetogreaterheights.com. And you've got to be able to explore leadership, empowerment, being purpose-driven, mentorship, coaching, resilience to greatness, mental health, emotional intelligence, and many, many more topics, including spiritual growth. Because you know what, growing up, I didn't have much in life because my father decided to have an early departure from this planet Earth. And thank God I missed that flight. But I had everything because of my mama's love. And I love you so much, Mom. So I think whosoever say that the sky is the limit was wrong. From today onwards, I, Nompumelelo Riel Kunene, believe that the sky is our point of view. So let's all rise to greater heights. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, our amazing speakers. So, you know, at this moment, please feel free to share with our audience how they can reach out to you. And if you have any freebie, any complimentary for them, please feel free to share with them, as well as share your final thoughts on the subject, Chase After Success. So any speaker can just jump in and share your final thoughts.
Oh, so my final thoughts is success is yours. Everyone's on their own journey. So keep your eyes on your prize and make sure you do what you need to do to reach your definition of success and no one else's. And I would love to invite you to a series I'm having free of charge to really hone in on your stress and live the life that you want to live. And you can register for this event at www.stresssolutionseries.com. And I look forward to seeing you in the virtual building.
So I'll definitely go. My final thoughts on success is it is definitely yours, but it is yours to own. So definitely own that power that you have to succeed. And from my perspective, always in a financial one, I would love to give you the opportunity to join us at the Real Money Talk Summit. It is a summit where we are going to help you own the financial power in your life and in business. It is for women, yes. And so you can go to realmoneytalksummit.com. It's complimentary for you. So you can definitely do that and get your seats. And listen, life is short, like I said, so definitely own your success. Thank you.
My final words will be, ain't nothing to it but to do it. Start somewhere. Be consistent once you do start, and you'll see the success follow. And then also surround yourself with others who have successfully done the things that you want to do. Again, I'm Dr. Cherie M. Good. I can be reached on my website, totalharmonyenterprises.com. On all your social media, I'm Cherie M. Good. On Facebook, Dr. Cherie M. Good. And my free gift to you guys will be my Anchor podcast, anchor.fm/Cherie Good, where you have a plethora of recordings where I've spoken about self-care, recharging your internal batteries, mind, body, and spirit. And yeah, that's about it. So thanks for having me.
Hello. So my final thoughts to all of you who are watching today is my favorite quote ever. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. And that's by Eleanor Roosevelt. The future belongs to you. It is you to make that decision that you're going to go after it, that you're going to chase after that success that you want, and that you're going to have a strategy to make sure that that happens. If you're really ready to make your life the beautiful picture that you've wanted it to be, I invite you to go to my website, www.mjnpacademy.com. And on there, you will click on the Blueprint program. There is this booklet I've put together for you. It says the 5 reasons you are afraid to quit your job. And here's how to fix it. So if you're in that job that you don't like, you want to click on that booklet, go through it. It's pretty simple, written very succinctly for you to help you to see what are the steps, what's the strategy, what's the blueprint that I used to exit nicely out of mine. Thank you so much. My name is Kisma Pante Jean-Pierre, and I look forward to connecting with you.
Oh, did we all have time? Okay. Wow. I was like, I'm still waiting for one speaker to speak, but I believe everyone had a chance. So, oh my goodness. We are really, really honored, amazing speakers, to have you, like, to spare. I know we are all busy. I was talking to Dr. Cherie how busy her schedule is, but she was like, you know what, I'm just going to spare this time just to be here. And all of these amazing speakers, Erica, I know Kisma is also busy. Like, we are all busy, but we've managed to come together under one mindset to chase after success, to help you to chase after success. So thank you to our amazing speakers for being with us today and just dropping all those nuggets that we need. Really, we need this. It's the beginning of the year. It's the 3rd month of the year. So we need this to chase after success so that we can look at this year as a more productive year than ever. If you had to quit that job to go full-time on self-employment, I encourage you to do that, but just do a reality check before you do that. So thank you so much, our amazing speakers, for being with us today at Rise to Greater Heights. Really, I've learned a lot from each one of you. I've really learned a lot, and I'm gonna go back and watch the replay. So thank you. So to our audience online, thank you so much. I can see them. Zandi Lendlela, Portium, Bella, Mariah is still watching. Nolwazi Ndluli, Mzwaki Khumalo, thank you so much. Princess, Goodwill, thank you to our amazing audience. Henton, thank you so much for joining us today at Rise to Greater Heights Network, where you can turn your fears into greater success while seizing new opportunities. I hope from all the messages from all these amazing speakers, you've been inspired, you've been motivated, and you are ready to rise to greater heights. So do join us next week at the same time, same place. Thank you. Merci. Siyabonga.
Let him laugh, let him weep, let him yell, let him sing. All they wanna say. Let him lay me traps and men to pray to Jehovah, me I pray. Let him laugh, let him weep, let him yell, let him sing. All they wanna say. Let him lay me traps and men to pray to Jehovah, me I pray. Let I be me instead of playing games. For chasing fame, let somebody sweat the lack of flames. No,
living my life to the fullest and shout out my halala to the fullest. Let my lungs out. I'm still rising up to greater heights as long as